Welcome to Pardon the Intermission, a podcast that takes a look at movies, TV, and all things entertainment, from the past, the present, and the future. Remember to subscribe and like the podcast, and give a review. This helps out the podcast and is greatly appreciated. Now on to the show.
Yes, hey everyone, welcome to Pardon the Intermission. I am Eric, and I'm here with a special guest today, and we're going to do a retro movie review. We're going to review a special movie. So, special guest, what is your name?
Millie.
Millie, it's my daughter. We're going to review, what movie are we talking about today?
The first Jaws.
The first Jaws. Just Jaws, right? Dun-dun, 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 dun-dun. Anyway, you like this movie because you have a love of...
Sharks.
Sharks, huh? Yeah. For some reason, you just really love sharks. I don't get it. I mean, I was never really fond of the ocean myself, but you love the ocean. You love the ocean and you love sharks. You have a shark room right now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. Okay, this movie we're going to talk about, it came out in 1975 when I was 5 years old. So I was a lot younger than you are now, but I never saw it in the theaters. Do you know that?
No.
Yeah, I never did. I only saw it on TV, but it scared me just the same. So anyway, this movie came out in 1975. It was a blockbuster. A lot of people didn't want to go in the water after this movie. Did you know that?
No.
Yeah. You know why? Can you imagine why?
Because it scared them?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, what happened is this movie, sometimes there'll be a movie that just... For some reason, just the public, it just scares it so bad that it doesn't want to do whatever's going on in the movie. And swimming in the ocean was one of the things that they didn't want to do that scared them so bad because of these sharks.
Well, the most scariest shark, I'd say, is the megalodon, but that one is extinct.
Yeah.
Well, of course, they're trying to bring it back.
Well, you've watched all kinds of... you're like a shark expert. You've watched all kinds of shark movies. You've watched the megalodon ones. You watch Meg. You watch, what is that, 47 Meters Down?
47 meters. It's a really good movie, 47 meters.
You've
down.
watched, what's the one in Paris recently?
Oh,
Sharks in
Underneath
Paris or something?
Paris.
Underneath Paris? Yeah, what other shark movies have you watched?
Oh, I know there's one, but I can't remember it.
Yeah, you've watched a ton of them. Some of them I've watched with you. I'm not a big shark movie guy, but I love Jaws. I love Jaws. And I love Jaws even more. Actually, right now is the 50th anniversary of Jaws. So this movie tells you how old I am. This movie is 50 years old, and it's really been the one that started it all. As far as I don't know if there's been like sea monsters and stuff maybe before that, but never like a big shark movie like this when it originally came out. But it's held on, right? It's still, to me, this movie is still as scary today as it was originally when it came out, I'm sure, for people in the theater. Did you know it caused mass panic? People didn't want to go in the water. It really did.
Wow. Well, sharks just mistake people for seals and stuff like that.
They're misunderstood, right?
Yeah, they're not harmful. They're just hungry. They're just hungry like us. They eat. They don't know that we're humans.
Did you just say that they're not harmful? Don't they chew people in half?
They mistake people for seals.
Yeah,
and
so
stuff
what
like
it
that.
is that we're kind of in their environment is what it is, right? I mean, it's like they don't know that we're not food because we're in their environment, and they're just, like you say, they're hungry or they're curious or they're a lot of things. Okay, so what, do you have something to say?
Life hack.
What?
If a shark is coming near you and you don't want it to come near you, hold it by its nose and point it to another direction. It'll go that direction.
So if a shark is swimming straight at you, and if you don't want it to come at you, you push on its nose, you push it away.
You grab its nose,
yes,
and then you push it to another direction, and it just goes that direction.
Now, are you talking from experience here?
Mm-hmm.
You are? You've had a shark come at you? I don't remember this.
No.
Oh, okay. I thought that no, when I say are you talking from experience, I mean, did you actually have a shark come after you? Because I don't ever remember that. I think I would know that, right? Being your dad. You did. Your granddad actually had a
Yeah,
shark swim at him, huh? He grew
He
up
just
in Aruba.
punched it in its nose.
He punched it in his nose. I know. I heard several different stories.
No,
I don't know
he
what he
punched it
did.
in his nose. He screamed. I don't know.
Yeah, we've heard several stories. We
Yeah.
don't know what's really going on, but luckily he survived it.
Yeah.
But there's all kinds of different sharks too, and some are more aggressive than others.
The whale shark is not. It does not eat humans at all.
Mm.
Great white.
Well, the great white, as far as aggressive, they're probably not the most aggressive, but they're the biggest, right? They're the biggest ones right now.
Nope.
What's the biggest shark?
Whale shark.
But what's the biggest shark that can do damage, though? Like a whale shark, you said doesn't eat humans. Does it even bite humans?
No, because it doesn't have any teeth. It just
Okay.
has little teeth, but it doesn't use them.
Okay,
it just
so that's not a
gulps.
threat. But the
No.
great white, is probably one of the scariest, biggest sharks that would eat you, right?
Well, of course you'd be scared of it, but there's nothing to be scared of. It's just something, and it's just a bigger fish in the ocean.
What's the most aggressive shark? Do you know? Is it a tiger shark or a mako?
Well, the megalodon, but it's extinct.
But there's no megalodons.
Yeah.
But I mean,
I'd
if
say
in
the
real
great
life,
white.
what's the most aggressive?
Um,
Hammerheads aren't aggressive, are they?
no, I'd say the great white.
The great white, the most aggressive? Okay. All right. you
But
heard it.
there is like a weird shark that is called the cookie cutter shark.
Yeah, but that's not aggressive. That's just
No,
it just
but it's
cuts a hole out of you. I want to see a scary shark movie with that one, with the cookie cutter. Nut, 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 nut. And it's just like, oh, there's a hole missing. We've seen that because it's like in like dolphins and stuff. Because we saw a special National Geographic or something, and it had like this, like they just have these big old holes, just chewed out of them, eaten out of them, right? That's why it's called cookie cutter.
because its mouth is shaped like a cookie, and that's why they call it the cookie cutter shark. But it's really small. It's mostly in the depths of the ocean.
Isn't it the biggest, like 3 feet or something?
No.
How big do they get? They don't get that big, right? Maybe 2 feet?
The biggest is 2 feet.
Okay, 2 feet. All right.
Yeah.
Interesting. Okay. So let's get to the movie now.
Yeah.
The movie. Now, you've seen Jaws several times. This is not your first time watching Jaws.
Nope.
And at first I was a little, being your dad, I was a little hesitant to have you watch it. But I guess it's really not that, for you, it wasn't really that. You know, as a parent, you have to kind of make your own decision when your kids can watch these type of movies. And I thought, you could probably handle it, right?
Yeah, the first time I watched it, I think I started liking sharks.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and because we tell you it's fake, it's not real, like all the stuff that happens too. So you're not. Yeah. So you don't think that it's not like a documentary, like we're watching something really happening here. But okay, so let me ask you this: what was scarier, do you think, in Jaws? In the beginning when you don't really see the shark, but there's all the stuff in the music and all that stuff happens, or is it scarier when you actually see the shark and it's doing damage?
It's I don't know. It's scarier when you hear the music and it's like dun, and you know that something is gonna happen, and you're scared what's gonna happen is gonna freak you out.
Yeah. So it's actually scarier to not see the shark.
Yeah.
And did you know that the reason in the original, when they were filming this movie, they had such problems with this mechanical shark in the ocean because of the salt water kept messing up all the mechanical parts of the shark, and it was the fake shark skin was falling off of it, that they literally they couldn't film all the stuff with the shark they wanted to. So the reason we don't see the shark and we hear the music mostly, it was mostly when they got done filming and they edited it and put it together, they had to come up with ways to kind of show the shark without showing it, or how we would feel kind of that anxiety or anticipation of the shark coming without seeing it, because they couldn't film all those scenes because the shark wasn't working right. Did you know that? Is that crazy?
No, I did not know that.
Yeah, so it kind of worked out better that way, huh?
Yeah, because mostly, I just saw the fin.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying, in Jaws 2, I'm pretty sure they made the shark really much better, and we saw it a lot.
Oh yeah, Jaws 2. We'll talk about that. That's a whole other story. For sure, huh? Now, now you have a little fact here about this, because you told me when we were watching it. In the very beginning, when that young girl goes swimming out to the buoy in the very beginning, and she's the first one that actually encounters
The shark.
Jaws. And the shark is like flipping her all around in the water, and we see her screaming and yelling and everything. And I mean, that is like the most. That's probably one of the most scariest scenes, especially scariest openings in a movie. What is the fact on that, though? What happened to her?
So there were divers under her. They were actually filming in an ocean. And there were people under her tugging her down. And I don't know if she broke her waist or like pulled it. They did damage to her waist, but
she actually broke her back, I think, is what happened.
Yeah, because when they were tugging her, and I think not in the beginning, but like closer to the end where the shark pulled her down.
Yeah.
But they were actually divers. When it pulled her down, remember the first part when the shark pulled her down?
Yeah.
It wasn't actually a shark, but they pulled her down, and she didn't break it yet. And then once like the actual like tugging, like big tugging started, I think it broke her back or her waist.
Because what they actually had is they had her on like sitting. She was on a harness, like a chair, or some kind of chair harness thing, and they had this where they were like moving her back and forth on this unit.
Oh yeah.
And forward and all this and she was flopping around, and you could see like it looks like the pain on her face. And I'm wondering if that's when it happens. Now when I watch that scene, I'm like, oh man, she's probably really in pain. I mean, she's not acting. That's probably real pain she's experiencing.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that was a little fact you told me. I thought it was kind of interesting. What is the for the movie yourself? Now everybody knows Jaws. We don't have to worry about doing any spoilers. They know what happened.
Yeah.
What do you think is maybe the scariest scene in that movie for you?
Well, when the people are what's their names? Quint.
When they're on the boat.
Them like that are on the boat.
Brody is the sheriff.
And
Hopper is the young guy with the glasses and the beard, and then Quint is the captain, right? He's the boat
captain.
But
is that his name? Hopper with the beard and the glasses and the curly hair?
Yeah, he's played by the actor's name Richard Dreyfuss.
So what scared me was, remember when he went underwater, he was checking stuff out, and then he went in the boat. And then,
you're talking, this is before he went with Quint. This is just Hopper and Brody.
Yeah. Okay, yeah.
It was at nighttime.
And then he went.
They ran across that boat that was like abandoned, just sitting there.
And then Hopper went in there in the ocean.
Underneath.
And then some
There's
random.
like a hole in the boat.
Yeah.
And he's looking at it.
And he found a shark tooth.
Oh yeah, that's right. And he's looking at that.
And then suddenly, this dead person just appears out of nowhere.
In the hole in the boat,
It scared me.
It's called a jump scare.
It still scares me. I don't expect it. I forget that it's going to happen.
Yeah, it got me too. Yeah, every time that thing gets me, because I even when I know it's coming, but it's called a jump scare. It's just like when something on the screen flashes out at you, and you just like it just scares you, because at the moment it's like so intense, because it's really because you don't know what's going to happen, and you're oh my gosh, don't get in the water, it's dark, and the sharks out there.
I don't know how the people felt when the movie came out, when they're in the movie theaters. That happened.
I bet. Yeah. Now you know why they didn't want to go in the ocean, huh?
Yeah.
Back in those days. Yeah.
Yeah.
That is crazy. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's the scariest part for you.
Mhm.
That's probably one of the scariest for me too. I would say the other two is when I think it's scary, kind of gory too, is when remember when the kid is on the raft out in the, and then he goes missing.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's another one. Did you know that scene? There's a couple of scenes, and I think that one, and there's the other one too, where remember all the young boys are sailing, and they have like their coach in that little boat, and the shark is coming.
Yeah.
A couple of those where they did more gory stuff, but they cut it out of the movie because they didn't want it to be too gory. Because it was like when they like when they're getting ready to release it, and they're editing it and putting it together, and then they're like, oh, we saw that part, and it's like, oh, we got to cut that out. No, it's too much. It's too gory. And so there's actually left some stuff out of that movie because it was like too gory and scary. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy, huh?
What the saddest thing in the movie is, well, of course, when Quint. I have two things. When Quint dies because of the shark eats him. Mm-hmm. And the second one is where the guy is throwing a stick for his dog to get, and then in the ocean, and then
the dog's gone.
Yeah, that was like, oh. I know it's fake, but like, oh, that was sad.
Yeah, and you see animals.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I know it's fake.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, it's fake. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, that was I think that was. Because it's kind of an interesting movie because it's not like a scary, like a zombie or monsters coming after you.
Yeah.
You know, it's kind of like a real life type of, I wouldn't say real life event per se, but I mean sharks are really in the water and people really go in the water. So that's probably why I think it's kind of more heightened for a lot of people with that movie. Did you like how the movie ended? Do you like how it ended? Do you think it worked out pretty well? Or do you think it was kind of, it's kind of fake, phony? I don't know if I like that. Or
remind me how it ended real quick.
Well, remember, he's at the very end, the only one that's left because...
Oh, yeah.
Oh, there's another part in the movie. We'll get to that in a second. But at the very end, there's another... at the very end, he takes that tank, that oxygen tank, that scuba tank, and he throws it in his mouth. And then it's like, for like, how long is that thing going to stay in his mouth? I think the shark would spit it out by now, right? But I guess they don't have a tongue. They can't spit it out. But... And then he's shooting at it with the gun, and then the thing's coming right at him, and the boat's sinking down, and he's almost in the water. And he blows it up at the last minute. Yeah.
Yeah. But another part, you mentioned this when we watched it last time, but remember, like, Hopper kind of knew that Quint was gone, and he was like, Quint, and... the sheriff was like...
This is after the shark is dead, and then Hopper... Because Hopper, at one point, he gets in that shark cage when they're on the Orca, the boat out there. And this is before the shark starts eating the boat up. But he gets in that shark cage, and he's gonna I don't know if he's gonna tranquilize him or give him poison to kill him. I can't remember. But he's gonna do something to the shark.
I think it was...
Is it gonna tranquilize him? Like just knock him out?
Poison.
Okay. And so so he's in the cage, and then what I was going to tell you earlier was that, remember we talked, I can't remember the name of that lady. There's a shark lady. She was very famous. She would dive with sharks back then, and we saw her on a special TV show, and they actually called her in to do some stunts with real sharks. And so there's that scene where you see the cage there, and you see a shark like flipping around in the cage, and that's a real life shark.
Yeah.
And what they actually did is they made a small cage with like a little small person, like they made a little fake person, but they made it smaller size, so when the shark came there, the shark looked huge compared to that little cage. And so when you see the shark kind of flipping around the cage, flipping and flopping, underwater, that's real. The shark accidentally, and it was an accident, they were filming, and the shark got caught in the lines on that cage, and so it really was tangled up in there. Aww. But they used that footage for the movie because it looks so dramatic and
I hope
scary.
The shark was okay.
Yeah, I don't know, but I can't remember her name. I think she was Australian, and she back in the I think in the either 60s or 70s, she was a famous shark. She would dive with sharks. Remember we saw that?
Yeah.
I can't remember what her name was. I'll look it up. We'll look it up, and maybe we'll find it here in a second. Yeah, go ahead.
I'm kind of saying this is in both movies. I just realized Jaws 1 and Jaws 2. I know we're not talking about Jaws 2 right now, but I just realized this right now. By the way, this is kind of spoilers if you didn't watch Jaws 2 yet.
Jaws 2?
Yeah. But at the end of Jaws 2, I just realized that the shark, it didn't really, blow up, but it got electrocuted, and it was catching on fire where the shark dies. And I just realized in the first one, the shark blew up.
Completely.
And it's kind of, similar
to
each other.
Yeah.
fire and blowing up are kind of the same.
Well, that's it. I mean, how do you kill a shark like that? You know, you have to do something very dramatic. I mean, obviously,
Well,
you know, this thing is very menacing, and this isn't just a regular shark, right? This thing is out for blood. Yeah. So, I mean, they have to do something. So I think, I don't know, how do you get rid of a shark? We're getting ready. It's funny. We've watched Jaws. We've watched Jaws 2, and we'll do a retro review on Jaws 2 later. But we're getting ready to watch Jaws 3.
Mm-hmm.
And I've seen these movies at one time, 2 and 3 and even 4, but I'm kind of getting them blurred with other movies, and I don't remember a lot. So it'll be interesting to find out how they kill the shark in Jaws 3.
Yeah. If it's the same, I'd be like, that's what I'm talking about. The same.
Yeah.
Well, I actually kill a shark, which I will never, ever, ever, ever in my whole life kill a shark.
Okay, that's good to know.
I don't think sharks are scary. I think they're beautiful.
Yeah, they're nice.
I'd even marry a shark.
If you don't mess with them, if you don't go, no, you would not marry a shark. You're being silly right now.
What was I gonna say?
I was trying to look up what the name of that girl was. That lady that worked as a stunt. Oh, is that her name? Susan? No, wait. Yeah, the shark girl in the opening scene of Jaws was. Oh no, Susan. That's the one who was opening it. Susan. What's her name? Blacklenny, and she was the actress and stunt woman.
It's Susan Backman.
She played the victim of the shark. That's the one you talked about where she broke her back. That was that one. But I'm looking for the other one. Let's see. Shark
I actually
girl.
kill a shark, which don't do. If you want to get it, if you want it to go away, or I think it will kill a shark, but never do this. But get it in its eye. Like, get something pointy and sharp and just stick it in its eye, and I think it will die.
Well, that's what they say, right? If you ever, in real life, yeah, here she is. Valerie Taylor is the one.
Oh, yeah.
She's the one that would go down and she would do a lot of, at the time, and I think a lot of people were mad at her because at the time she was a conservationist, and her and her husband were very much into, they would do a lot of filming of nurse sharks, right? Wasn't it nurse sharks? They would go down with the sharks, dive with them. She was an Australian, and she was trying to show the world that these aren't, bad creatures. Yeah. They're misunderstood. Mm-hmm. But then they worked on the movie Jaws, and I think it made a lot of people mad because Jaws made sharks look really bad. And I think even, we were talking about people not going in on the beach, not going in the water at the beach or not, I think also too during that time there was a lot of people who went out and started hunting sharks because they thought they were, it was a crazy time back then, because isn't that something that a movie can affect people so much that, they have a certain behavior. And so obviously if you see a movie about a man-eating shark, I mean, it's going to have repercussions right in the real world. But
I'm being serious. If someone kills a shark in front of me or a shark dies in front of me, I cry. I full on cry.
Yeah, she was the one that was working with the stunt. They did some filming with the real shark, and she was the one I was telling you about with the cage, the little fake cage with the fake scuba diver in it and that shark that got all tangled. Now, going back to what you're saying, though, now, if the other thing I heard about, is that you can, if a shark is near you, you can poke him in the eye. That's one way to get him. And you're talking about you're supposed to push him on the nose.
Yeah.
That's one way to do it, too. I don't think there's ever been another movie to me like Jaws. I mean, as far as just scary. I mean, there's a lot of, like I said, monster type movies, but this is a monster movie, I guess you can say in one sense, but it's definitely a different because it's more real and it affects you more. It's more lifelike, more real, just because of the fact of the subject matter of a shark out there, and if you have one that's purposely going after people, and that can think, that can kind of have a little bit of strategize a little bit, it's kind of scary. That's kind of because when he got the boat right at the very end, what did you think about the very end scene when he's eating Quint, the captain? Was that kind of fake or what?
Yeah, I could tell it was fake.
Yeah.
If you didn't tell me that it was fake, I'd be like, That's fake right there. Cause like you could tell that the teeth are not real. Well, I have some real teeth over here, but they're I think they made them out of plastic. I do not know, but I think it was plastic. But
Probably
you
foam
could,
or something.
yeah, you could tell that the shark was fake.
Yeah.
Cause I don't know if the gills were moving, but the gills would be moving if the shark was
sure.
real. If
Sure.
it was out of water.
Well, did you notice that towards the end, when we got to see a lot of the shark with the boat, that the shark would come up sideways, not front on? It was almost like he would be tipped sideways, so maybe that's the only way they could really get him to work. And then you were making, I can't remember, was it Jaws 1 or Jaws 2, but you were kind of making a comment about how, remember the shark was like doing a lot of bites?
Jaws 2.
Was it? Oh, that was Jaws 2.
Remember
okay.
when it was getting
But he did
electrocuted?
that- Oh, yeah, but he did that in Jaws 1, too, where he kind of had a few of those bite
Yeah.
moments, you know, where he looks like he's trying to purposely go after Quint on the boat.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now, there's one scene in there, I had talked about this previously. There's one scene, a previous podcast, where, remember when the Brody, the officer, and they're all three on the boat, and he's out there and he's throwing the chum out, but he's not looking, and then he goes, and then, you know, he's throwing out, and all of a sudden the guy says something to him, and he says, "Oh, I'll show you something," and then he turns around and the shark comes out of the water.
Oh, yeah.
Remember that? And he's like right there, and he's like pops up. I think that scene, if I remember correctly, they said that scene, he didn't know when the shark was coming out. That was like a real reaction, like when they were filming it. Yeah, he didn't know when the shark was coming out, and so it kind of really startled him. And then, you know, when he backs up, that's when he's backing up, and he goes, "We're gonna need a bigger boat." Did you know that he made up that line? That wasn't the actual line, but supposedly he forgot what the line was, and he said that, and they kept that in the movie. Isn't that pretty neat?
Yeah.
Yeah. So there's some fun facts, yeah.
I thought that was like in real life, like not real life. Oh my gosh, like the actual line in the movie. Like that's the most. I have a shark shirt that says "We're gonna need a bigger boat"
Yeah.
on it.
Yeah, that's one of the most. It's funny how sometimes in movies, some of the things that either happen by accident or get said by accident become the biggest. The biggest lines.
We're not talking about this movie, but remember in Wonderful Life when something just smashed, like.
Oh yeah.
Like that.
Yeah, you're talking about It's a Wonderful Life when they're doing a scene and off camera there was actually something that fell and it wasn't supposed to happen, but the actors just rolled with it and they made the best of it and it stayed in the movie. Yeah, it worked.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, stuff like that does happen and you just have to roll. That's why they say you never even if stuff doesn't work out, you just keep going. You never stop because who knows what'll happen.
Yeah.
You know, so it'll be something maybe you could use. And then that we need a bigger boat. That's like one of the biggest lines in that movie. Yeah.
He just like made it up because he forgot his line.
Yeah, supposedly. Yeah, he kind of forgot his line, so he just said we're gonna need a bigger boat. Yeah.
Oh, cause
maybe
he
that
think
was a
that
part of the line, but I don't know. From what I understood, yeah, he kind of improvised that line. He just said it. Yeah.
Now I'm curious what the real line is because I want to see which one is better.
We would have to get, we'd probably, I don't know if they'd have it. We'd have to get the original script and maybe the real line would be in there.
Maybe the book?
No, I know because the book's quite a bit different than the movie. But if you get the original script, the screenplay, and it should have all the original lines in it that are supposed to be said that the actors would use. Sometimes you can find those, like they'll have copies of them. You can find them around. Yeah. Pretty neat, huh?
Oh, yeah.
Well, we're going to have to wrap this up here. Is there anything now besides Jaws? We know Jaws is a classic. We know it's great. Is there anything else you can think about the movie you want to say before we leave? Is there any favorite parts or anything that stood out to you or anything you wanted to mention?
Let's see.
And I told you before, you know, we have the book, right? You've seen the book in there?
No.
You haven't seen the book? I've actually got the book, and it was my dad's book, Jaws. It was the book that the movie came from. And I remember, when I was a kid, I never saw the movie, but I remember I've seen the posters, I saw the commercials, I saw all that. So it has that picture of the shark coming up with the girl swimming, you know, the famous the famous poster. And I remember as a kid, I was looking at that cover of that book, and it just freaked me out. And my imagination was just going off. I was like, oh my gosh, this is the scariest thing. Isn't it crazy how your imagination can go? But I remember, I remember seeing, and I still have that book. I kept that book. I got it from my dad, and I'll show it to you after here. It's on our bookshelf in there. Yeah, it's pretty crazy.
Wow.
Huh?
Bailey.
I know we got our dog is we have our own Jaws running around the studio now. We have our own Jaws. She's causing her own problems. But anyway, anything you want to say before we head out?
Oh, yeah. Remember when when the kid died and all the other people were like in this room trying to figure out who's gonna kill the shark, what to do with the shark? Remember that?
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, what like do you know that feeling where you're like, ooh? Remember when Quint was putting his nails against the chalkboard running it?
Yeah.
And I was like,
Yeah.
like the sound and the feeling.
I wonder if that was scripted or if he just did that. You know, if they told him, oh, just somehow get those guys to quiet down in there. Maybe he did. I don't know. I'm just saying, I wonder. Because you never know. You know, a lot of times these movies, when they're made, we think they have everything planned out. A lot of times, some of the stuff goes completely wrong, like the shark. But it makes it better because we have the music and we have just the... it was also one of the first movies that used, as far as scary movies, used the technique of where we're looking from the shark's perspective. Remember in the beginning? Because it's like we're the ones swimming through the ocean in the very beginning. So when it's like that, that was one of the first where we get to see from the shark's perspective. And a lot of movies use that afterwards. But yeah, it was like one of the first ones that used that technique. We're actually the kind of the shark swimming. Kind of interesting, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, all right. Well, anything else? Love sharks. They're not that mean. Is that what you want to say to the world out there?
Fact.
Yes.
Well, yeah, I love sharks. They're not mean to me. So we were talking about whale sharks earlier. What they do is if they see like a bunch of fish or like even one fish, they just get their mouth. They don't use any teeth to chew. They just get their mouth and open out.
And they swallow them whole.
And and then the gills, it gets all the water out and just leaves the fish or whatever.
Oh, interesting.
It eats.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And of course, I have a favorite shark.
And I know what that one is.
Say it.
Huh? Hammerhead.
Yeah.
Why do you like hammerheads?
Ever since we went to Monterey and I saw a hammerhead.
Yeah, you saw that one in real life.
Yeah, that's why I want to go back to Monterey.
Yep. We're going to go back to the aquarium and check them out. All right, folks. That's going to do it for now. So this is our retro review of Jaws. It gets how many millies?
10.
10 out of 10.
10,000.
I think it gets 10 out of 10 for me, too. It's a great movie. Anyway, thank you for listening. As always, check out our social media, and we will catch you guys on the next one.